think the stereotype is already there from age 5 to up. You know, all you see is males.
Well,
it's for sure. It's a male. It's a male-dominated career for sure. But I'm a recruiter, and personally, I'm making my business to hit hard on females. And I just try to be a good representation of what our agency is like and what it's like to be a female police officer, because it's an honorable career. And I wish that more females would, become police officers. You can't make people do it, but I always try to talk to women and let them know that, hey, you can do this too.
You got a couple of business cards? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm an official, so I referee sports. So
oh, you good. You already
welcome to that's a different game out there. So I have total respect for you being a female.
This lady, I think they're doing some hiring down in podcast. It's police department. Seriously.
I would just say, I know that, of course, we're in Atlanta, so much bigger department than anybody in the state. But I've heard it before where the citizens have talked about seeing a representation of them on departments. I mean, if you go back and look at some of the instances that occurred on police shootings or, alleged brutality, one of the biggest things that they talk about is, well, we got people policing and governing us that don't look like us. I don't know what that's like because I'm from Atlanta. I was born and raised there, and I worked there. So with us, we have black, white, male, female, the LGBTQ, Hispanics, Asians. We have, because our city is, our department is a representation of our city. And so that's a good question, and I think that would be something that, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Joe, being here, can hear that. And maybe that's something that can be either pushed or talked to the sheriff or city council or whoever about that, because I think that does make a difference. Having cops in the area that look like you, and not just all white or all males. Females might bring a balance in a lot of instances. So that's just gonna look good on that.
No, that makes plenty of sense. What do you guys think that the role of the officer in your city should be?
Protect the citizens. If you come to my house, I'm gonna call police.
So have you, all right, so this came up. This is one question that came up in our city. A young woman felt like she was being unjustifiably approached by the police, and she called the police on the police. I know this sounds crazy, right? What do y'all think about this? Is that something that could or can be done?
Yes, it's something that has happened and has been done. I've had 2 encounters in my career where I had a white female and a white male ask for a white cop. And I just got on the radio and asked for him, and my supervisor said negative. They're gonna take the cop that's there. So in some instances, people may not like the officer that they're dealing with, or we don't always hit it off with everybody that you come in contact with as people. Right. So if they call for another officer, I would think that the officer would already be asking for another unit, maybe to assist. I don't know how here, manpower-wise, if that's even possible. But at the same time, like we said earlier, the best thing to do is try to deal with the confrontation at that moment and then handle it at a later date, because I always use the scenario, if I go to Starbucks in the drive-thru and the person gets smart with me on that mic, how does that make you feel? When you get to that window, you're already like, you got a certain tone about you, and it's the same thing as a police officer. My first day as a cop, I got complained of. And it changed me because it showed me don't play with people, stay professional at all times, and always know that it can come back on you. So don't play with people like that, and just be honest and try to be nice and courteous to people as best you can. But at the same time, some people are having bad days. You could be having a bad day, but you can't take it out on them. And they, even though they may try to take it out on you, don't try to go tit for tat with them, and then usually try to de-escalate it as well. Like we have de-escalation training where you try to lessen the situation and stuff like that. So I think that might help.
I could say one of my expectations was unrealistic at one point. I thought because I was cool with some officers that I could basically tell them when I'm doing something wrong and they can guide me through it. But I can't be unrealistic and expect them not to do their job. So it's just like me at the radio station. Like I can tell you what to do with the record, but you can't just give me something to play out of the fire. You know what I'm saying? If it's not already improved. If your song has cursing in it, I can't play it. If I do, it's gonna reflect negatively on me. Prime example, I called him one night. I was like, hey, I think my license dirty, bro. Can you run it real quick? He said, if I run it and it come back bad, you going to jail. I can't expect this man to jeopardize his livelihood and his family for my, personal thing that I want done. So, that being said, this man said you got his number and you know how to find him. Don't hit him up for nothing crazy. But at the same time, if you have a real concern for something going on, ask him. Because what he told me that night was golden. He said, call this number and check it yourself. This way you can get it straightened out. And I did. I called the number. I checked it myself. Luckily, he didn't run it.
Was it bad?
Luckily, he didn't run it. I got it straightened. I got my issue straightened out. You know what I mean? And they can also tell you advice on if you're going to have a bad run-in with another officer. Hey, I wouldn't maybe complain to this person, but this person. It's just like being in a job. You get the wrong manager, you're going to have that employee back. But he might be able to tell you, no, ask for Bob. Bob will get it handled. And go that way. I hope nobody named Bob.
Let me pick back, Reese, right quick on that whole thing about the police, us being called on us. I would tell, I always tell my young officers, sometimes it's not a bad thing for another officer to come and handle the situation. Because probably at that point, you're probably fed up, pissed off, and you're gonna go back and forth with that person. Then you got a complaint. It's pretty much gonna be sustained. So you should have just hushed. So why not let? All right.
He like the instruction choice, boy.
Boss pulls up. She calls. Of course, the supervisor. I'm gonna come over and say, okay, what she need another officer? What's going on? Well, she said that other officer got an attitude. Blah blah blah. Okay, Moss may say, okay, well, I'm headed over that way. Moss get over there. Now me, if I'm there, I'm gonna say, man, look, go ahead and handle this for me, man, before I get pissed off. Go ahead. And I'm gonna take a step back. So as officers, sometimes it's not a bad idea for us. And I'm telling you kind of some ways for us to kind of respond that I think we can respond better than just, all right, I'm gonna take a step back, I'm gonna let you handle it. Because their rapport, whether he or she, might be a whole lot better with him. And yeah, they may say something, he was just rude and this and that, but probably I might not get it. All right, appreciate that, Moss. Appreciate you coming over here and handling that. I have had to respond to situations, as a supervisor where they said they wanted a particular race. I was pissed. But I told him, just like Ty said his supervisor told him, absolutely not. We're all police. This officer here is going to handle whatever situation. My first thing, has he done anything wrong, or what's the problem? No, I prefer this. No, negative. Negative. No, we don't play them kind of games, and we shouldn't. So I've seen it too. Yeah. But it's not a bad thing. Let somebody else handle it.
But as a female, I'm not a female clearly. But as a female, I've heard women ask, can a female officer assist? Now I know there may be a difference.
Now what do you mean assist?
Well, can she come on this, let's say she gets pulled over and it's a male, and she asks for a female officer.
Why?
Like she was
I'm just asking, I don't
No,
know.
but I'm gonna ask
Why?
why.
Right.
Why do you want a female officer?
Protection, maybe. I don't know.
She's not comfortable.
I
She said
feel-
earlier she feels very uncomfortable with
Yeah.
a male.
All right, we don't have any.
Not
female
me
work.
personally, but I
Okay,
know
I'm
other
just-
people. But
we're-
still,
we're
the
acting this
situation's
out
the
now.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
the
don't have any
situation's
females
the
on the shift right now.
Okay. So now you just gotta comply.
Yeah.
Don't go to jail.
same.
Okay.
Now, if it's a situation where maybe I don't know, maybe you about to go to jail and we gotta make sure you don't have anything on you. You know, we have policies that are set aside for searching, you know, prisoners before we put them in our car, things we can and can't do. So anything beyond that, that's more of a evasive type, then of course it wouldn't be us. More importantly, it probably is going to be if it's that, you know, evasive. That's the right word. We're gonna get a medical professional to take care of that, to kind of ease that. But I mean, we hear it all the time.
Yeah.
I'd rather
I
have this
bet
person.
y'all
I'd
do.
rather have that person. No.
Y'all heard that, right? I'm just playing.
But everybody's
Actually, you know,
different.
what would they like to see from
I
police
don't mind,
officers?
you know.
What would they like to see from their police officers?
Everybody's different. Every jurisdiction is different, department, and so forth. And it really boils down to whatever their